we started making more stuff after we did some collabs with like some artists from Estonia. Yuri, we're actually talking about how we've shot our first music video for local rappers in Estonia. Could you come and talk about that? I'm gonna ask you. So we were talking that we got Lil Xan wearing our chest rig.
Yeah.
And then the next idea was like, we need to connect with music more. And we started working. I gathered some like Estonian rappers, Marps, Klišerik.
Yeah.
And we were like, let's make some music videos, let's make some parties. And we wanted to create like a track that could go like viral in Estonia. And we kind of felt like we did one. And we wanted like a cool video for that track. And I started asking my friends like who could shoot it. And then one of my classmates told Jüri Belov, ask him.
Yeah, actually, that's
Jüri
a
Belov.
funny. Regarding this like Lil Xan moment, I remember that for me personally, like at that time, he was pretty huge. He was like on top of his career, I guess. But the fact that he wore a racer attracted my attention back then. This is something I can remember for sure. I'm trying to find right now this very first message that you sent me. I think it was on Instagram.
Oh, good luck. Like that would require like.
No, we don't have too many here.
No, that would be like 15 minutes.
Okay, I'll find it later and we'll include it. But I remember you texting like, hey, what's up? My friend told me you are a good operator. You wanna do something together? And I responded something like, yeah, I heard a lot about you. Let's work. And this collab turned out to be a pretty big success for everyone involved, I guess. For artists, they got like several 100,000 views. For like local scene, a huge success. Also, this video was posted on the Racer YouTube channel, where you're watching this video right now.
Yeah.
You will never see it, you will never find it, but it's archived or something.
That was like the most viewed video on our YouTube channel ever.
Yeah.
Maybe it has more views combined than all of our vlogs so far.
Yeah, most probably. And that was great. Of course, I immediately like agreed to do something for free for like, because I don't know, especially back then, I was very hungry for like new projects and for finding a project that would like boost me in my career and give me some new opportunities to do something. So of course, it was a great experience. And later we did a few more.
Yeah, so we started doing some music videos.
Yeah, suddenly Racer for a few months turned into like a production studio for music videos.
Yeah, or at least we were like connecting people around, like some artists, and then we pulled up the video agency that you were working in, and
yeah, that was great.
And then we threw a huge party.
Yeah, I remember
like,
that.
how well do you remember the party actually?
I only remember.
What was it called?
Racer Bash?
Yeah, Racer Birthday Bash.
Racer Birthday Bash.
Or
I remember the poster with.
Or maybe just Bash. Racer Bash. I think that's, yeah, Racer Bash.
It was cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but it was just like, we were planning like a party for like a month, and we had like a lineup of our friends, artists, and we rented out like a huge ass venue that could fit like 1,000 or 2,000 people. And then like, at that time we were still under 18.
Yeah.
Like I remember. So we rented it out, we put like all the money that we earned with like clothing on that, and then like maybe like 100 people came, or like 200. Like it was fine, but like we just went like too big of a scale of event. We totally like lost like multiple thousand euros. And then it was an important moment, because then I realized that actually, okay, maybe doing parties and focusing on like a local scene isn't that important, because Tallinn is like a really small city, and that is like important for everyone, like wherever you live. I think that your local crowd and your friends will help you from the beginning, but you should always focus on like how could you be interesting for people on the internet, and like for people just surfing on the Instagram, on the social networks.
Yeah.
And yeah, after that we kind of like got more focused on that.
Yeah, for some reason back then I didn't really understood like this mindset of yours, because I can clearly remember how like in several months we went from zero budget projects to way bigger projects, shooting with huge cinema cameras and everything.
Yeah.
And for me, I was like super hyped about it and everything, but at the same time you were disappointed for some reason. And I was like, why is that so? And one day day, I don't remember the circumstances, but maybe we were discussing another project or something, but you told me that I think I'll skip this one.
Yeah.
Even though it had budget and everything, you were like, no, I have to focus on the brand, on doing my own thing. But at the end, I think your decision was right.
I don't know, like all of these like mistakes and these parties and all of these little things that we did before, because I already did so many parties, shot so many videos, like we already had some kind of experience, like, you know, having some audience from other countries and like how they react to that or that. And I kind of realized that, like, you know, we shouldn't sacrifice our vision and our like creative freedom, you know, to pick up these like commercial projects, because as the budget got bigger and bigger, it was like more and more limiting in terms of like what creative decisions we could make, you know, in a sense. It still got better, you know, because we got more budget and more experience. Like first videos were still like the worst and the most shit, you know, we just didn't have experience and everything. But yeah, I believe that like we could just like grow our own platform that would like enable us to fund our own videos, our own pieces of work. And I mean, fast forward like a year or something, that was when you were like shooting a lot of music videos, a lot of commercial work for like a lot of artists, making some money off it. And then I remember I approached you like to come and actually like to work at Racer, like at the brand directly, and work on like our campaigns and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was a year later.
Yeah, maybe a year passed. But yeah, for me, like Racer and Mihhail, like 2 times in my life you created like a dramatic change. No, for real. Because like back then I was looking for opportunity to grow in terms of like video production and stuff, and then we did music videos and it all like boosted suddenly. And then later, while you were building it up, like working on products and everything, I for some reason reached like some kind of a invisible ceiling on a local scene, and I felt like there was nothing else to do. And then again you offered me an opportunity to do something internationally within the Racer team. So
it was an opportunity, but also like a downgrade in some way, you know, because you could be doing these like bigger videos, or like same, you know, as like the first music videos, you know, you could have just like, you know, recorded some like videos or photos for like weddings and stuff and earn way more money, you know, like some kind of that stuff. And kind of, I feel like that's like a big lesson, that if you are really ambitious, you gotta like sacrifice your comfort right now in order to have like a long-term goal and stuff. And I mean, now we're just like filming campaigns that are like more interesting, or like projects as pop-ups and like different tours around the world that are like more ambitious and like way bigger, but we still do it like for a lower budget in a sense. Yeah, true. Just because we do it for ourselves. And like we're smart with it, and we use like smarter approaches to it.
Smarter approaches, and we reach bigger audiences, and the audience is way more interesting than before.
Yeah, but like somewhere around that time, I think another winter came along, and we dropped like another puffer jacket, and it was like a hit again. Before that, we still weren't like making a lot of like revenue. We weren't selling a lot. Still, like nobody really earned any money. Nobody really worked like for like full time. But also we kind of started gathering like more and more members came along. Like Maria came, Dima came after some time, Nikita came. Matvei started like working more with us, and yeah, we have this Dima story, which was crazy. Like, I don't know who knows it. Like, fuck, it's such a fucking long story.
About how he got into...
Yeah, because I think it was also when, like, COVID hit.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, we weren't making any sales when, like, it was, like, first 2 months of COVID. And then I remember, like, by some reason, somehow, like, we got in contact with Dima, who worked with, like, Tommy Cash at that time, like, one of the biggest, like, artists in Estonia. And he was doing, like, photography and some creative work for this artist. And I don't know how, but we got in contact, we talked, and we decided that he's also gonna come to our studio and, like, work on something. because he really wanted to work on something like in fashion. That was like his just personal like dream. Yeah, and we kind of gave him this like opportunity. Like we were starting at that time to pay like some like very very small like nominal salary to members in the team, and we were still in the basement. And yeah, like the summer was pretty chill. Like around that time we also did like a collab with Vitonleia, with this guy Babyface bags that I was already talking about. That was like one of our first like custom produced items like on the factory, which was like a knitwear piece, like the Vitonleia X-Racer knit sweater. And it kind of sold pretty crazy for that time. We maybe sold like 100 of those, which felt like surreal for that time to sell like 100 or something. We got very inspired by it. Yeah, I think like after the summer we kind of like started treating everything even more seriously. We already had like a permanent collection on the website, that we already had some stuff selling on the website. We put another version of the puffer jacket in production. Now we also had this like frosted puffer jackets, which we were like frosting ourselves in the basement too. And yeah, from there we also made like the red knit sweater, like the scarf, the beanie, a few other items that were like one of the first items that we like produced with the factory. And yeah, from there it was kind of the moment where I think having presence online, having like a good Instagram with good content, having like this selection of products, like a little collection, having like a good customer service, like because we were able to like send it out, you know, to talk with our audience, like, and just a bit of promotion on top. Like we were just, you know, like trying out like everything we could, you know. We were trying to like to boost posts on Instagram. We were like sending out stuff to like influencers on Instagram, and I think that was like the first time where it really like took off. And at that time I was already in the university. I was studying in my like first year, and yeah, that was the time when we had a drop of these puffer jackets. We sold like maybe 50 of them within like the first few days. We were all really happy with it, and we were like, wow, crazy, like maybe we could sell some more. But then the orders just kept coming. Like it just never stopped. Like the second week we sold like 50 again, and then we promoted even more and like put it out there like everywhere. And like next week we sold like 100, and like it just kept like going and going. And we started like receiving like orders from like all around like Europe, and like some from US even. And yeah, like we were just started selling like hundreds of stuff, like. And from that moment, like because we were starting to get bigger like on Instagram and our socials, like the other products also took off, kind of like the red sweater and everything. It was very hard. We were like trying to make like enough products all the time. It was like all the time like going out of stock, and we didn't have enough, or there was like a production delay. Yeah, that was like when it suddenly became like a real like a real company, like a real brand. And within like few months, like at some point we just realized that okay, that's like a real thing, and maybe we actually need to build a team like full time. And at that time we got some budget to like fund salaries and everything, and we put some people like together who were like all around, you know, helping us, and who worked throughout the years with us. It was like funny, because before it was just like everyone was helping here and there. Like we were just doing everything ourselves, but suddenly there was like so many shipments that we had to hire someone to specifically like ship the parcels, and then like to organize the production for them and all of these things. And that was around the time when we got this
studio.
Yeah, this studio. At the beginning it was just like one room of this
but even though first
space.
Maybe month of this studio, still everybody was doing pretty much everything. I remember me sending a couple of parcels here. Because
it was like still very hard. Like we didn't have a clue, you know, how to organize it in the right way, you know, because nobody of us like had like barely like even like some work experience, you know, and we didn't know how like a company should function. So it was very chaotic. We have like a lot of pictures from that era too.
From outside, to me it looked like a super quick grow. Because like I remember in the summer I got the news that Dima joined the team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was the big surprise for me. And then suddenly, during the next like 6-7 months, I remember seeing a lot of posts, new drop. Because before that, Racer was like a bit quieter. It was like a quiet brand.
We were doing like maybe one drop at 2 months or something.
Yeah, and during that period, I remember drops were like at least 2 times a month. Almost every week you had a giveaway.
We were doing a lot of giveaways back then.
Yeah, but it paid off, I guess. And I remember like in 6 months you grew like by more than 20k followers on Instagram.
Maybe,
that was pretty cool to see from
it wasn't
the
about
outside.
20. We grew like 5 times. The amount of followers that we have, or something like that.
Sounds even better. But yeah, what about the beginning? What year was it? The beginning of 2020?
Yeah, it was right after the COVID hit.
Yeah.
And I think that also like having this COVID thing, it only pushed more like this idea that we need to really focus on like internet and on like a worldwide audience, and not on like doing like small local events and that kind of stuff. And it really paid off, and as soon as that stuff started happening, like all these like big sales and stuff, I pretty much immediately like stopped going to my university, because like, you know, from like nothing it became like a pretty serious thing like straight away, you know. And I kind of didn't see much point in like sitting in the classroom when like every hour that I could spend working here would like matter a lot, like that it would like, you know, either make us like grow even more or not, you know.
We're all dropouts, right? Only Katie is still studying, but it's not something to be proud of, but it's a fun fact to realize that almost everyone from the team is a dropout. Right?
Yeah, I think with university it's kind of like, if you don't know what you're gonna do, or you don't have like a clear plan, you know, or you're not, mainly if you're not doing something already, you know, that it's on some level of importance, then you should definitely like study, you know, like that's the right way. But if you really believe in something and, you know, you have like a passion, I think that you can do it even if you're studying. You should still like pursue it. You should still like take like double hours, you know, like do it at night, at the evening, at the weekends. And if it starts working, then, you know, it already decides for itself, like, you know. But yeah, we got this big office. We got like Vladimir on the team, the same classmate that was like helping me paint the walls
in the first days,
in the basements in the first days. We got some more people in the team too. I think somewhere around that time was the time when you came here, right?
Yeah, I remember when I came, this place looked totally different. We should include some footage of this space back then.
Yeah, it was all red floors, and
it was a great time. For me, it felt like new place, new beginning, new everything, new dreams, new goals to set, new friends, new colleagues. That was a dramatic change for me. But at the same time, I was full of hope and belief, I would say. And what inspired me the most is the fact that everyone worked hard. Everyone like was giving everything.
Yeah, even though mostly we didn't have a clue what we were doing.
Yeah, maybe at some point.
Yeah, I think that's like important part of our like mentality, is that like we're always like hungry for more, and we never ever really, even when we started like selling more and when we got to the bigger office, basically the way how we lived didn't change much. Like we didn't start spending more or like wearing expensive clothes, you know. We really were just focused on the process, just focused on the work. And that was like very important, because very often like when people like achieve something, you know, they start taking time to just, you know, celebrate it and party and just spend this money and everything. But we never really like were celebrating, you know, in that way. We were like grateful and proud of what we have accomplished, but we always knew that, okay, that's just another step forward, you know, that our plans are even bigger and even more ambitious. And yeah, that's how we went. And so we shot some first
100K
campaigns with you.
Yeah, campaigns started to pull.
Yeah, like here I did my first photo campaigns before. I've been doing only videos.
We've been doing this video as well with bear.
That was sick. We had 2 bears, one exploded.
Yeah. R.I.P.
These are great times.
Yeah, I think we spent like a summer doing like campaigns and like planning out stuff, and then we dropped even more stuff. We dropped patch sets during that time. That was the time when like Vadim and Matvei, they really started working in the production.
Yeah, we found our positions in the team. We like took over the production at the same time due to our like previous knowledge of sewing, of garment construction, and as we were the most like technical and experienced to clothes in this sense. Yeah, we started taking the production from Misha, who been doing that before, who actually produced first red hoodies, red sweaters, Vuitton sweaters, everything.
Yeah, I think it was like this thing that I almost like had every position in the brand like throughout the years. Like I almost did like everything, like every little thing, from like working on the website to editing the photos to shooting the flat photography for the website,
making the designs,
producing to making the designs, and just like as we went further, I was just like we were inviting more and more people who were like starting to take over these like all of these responsibilities and could really like already like, even though pretty much everyone was like still like amateur in the places, you know, that we're working on, you know, because they were able to like focus on it and, you know, really become like professionals in it. And like now already, of course, like everyone knows much better in all of their
in his own field.
Yeah, and I think like later we released like some more products, like the first thermochromic jacket, the puffer vest. Like we released a lot of stuff during that time, and I think then in summer we realized that the next big thing for us could be a first international pop-up, which was in Paris, right? Actually. Maybe you could speak about the pop-up because you were organizing it, and we could invite Chris because he was on the pop-up, right?
Yeah,
as a guest.
Because it would be nice, like that, like pretty much everyone, like Nikita and Katie and you and like Chris, we recorded like your experience before, you know, getting the position, before working. You all had like somewhat of a story with Racer. And Chris, I think like it was very like ironic that you actually like visited the pop-up, like you specifically came from like Tallinn to that pop-up like maybe a year almost before you started working here. Back then like I didn't know you, like we didn't really know each other that much. You were just from one school, guys, right?
Yep.
How was the pop-up organized? What was it about? What was the idea? And how did it feel as the guest?
As I remember, in summer 2021 we were planning to do some physical event internationally, and of course our eye fell on Paris.
This is like the epicenter for fashion worldwide.
So we decided to do this event in September during the fashion week, and actually I think we planned and like did everything in a few months.
Yeah, maybe in like 3 months.
So it was pretty quick production, and Maria worked on getting some influencers there. I worked and a few more people on building the decorations and stuff in collaboration with this artist, Save My Mind. And I remember doing all those invitations, and we planned the announcement of this event. And did I invite you there? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, did I text you something?
No, that was actually it. I was checking on you, like on the brand, and then once in the stories I saw this big invitation for everybody, and I texted you. Then you answered me like, yeah, of course there will be this. Take all of your friends and pull up.
Yeah,
that's gonna be crazy. And I was like, come on. I took all my friends, and then
But that was a big support, because I remember us being worried that there will be not enough people from Paris coming to the pop-up. So we tried to gather as many people from Estonia to fly there.
And then actually like maybe like 60 people came from Tallinn.
Yeah.
Just for that.
Insane amount.
Like they basically bought the tickets, like rented the
Themselves.
hotels.
Yeah,
so like we didn't support anything. Like
I even did the corona test. Like I didn't have a plan to do it, but yeah, I had to do it, so I ran for first one, and then like 3 days before the pop-up, I made the second one.
You mean vaccine?
Yeah, vaccine.
But yeah, I remember like a few weeks before the event, we were just sitting here and discussing like how many people from Tallinn are going there. And when we realized the amount of the people going there, we exhaled, because we knew that even if there will be not like hundreds of local people coming, at least we'll have 50 of our friends there.
But we should tell about that. We should tell about the
carpet production.
No.
About the blue campaign.
About the blue campaign, right? Like how we sort of like.
This is your idea. You should tell them.
We basically wanted to like promote, and create some kind of, because like this Paris trip, we were giving away like a trip for like a random person, like racer fan to come there, and we gave away the trip, and like a lot of people already like from Paris started like texting us, like a lot of people from Estonia started texting us that they're gonna come, and it felt like a really like big moment for us when we really realized how like strong the community around racer is. And like I really wanted to do something special, and we had this little moment when we basically like, it was maybe like a week before the pop-up, I announced like that there's gonna be like a special like event to our close friends and like in our personal stories. And then like back in days, like our avatar was blue, and it was like RGB blue tint, and it was like the color association with the brand. It was like almost the symbol of the brand. And we basically like turned all of our avatars, and like we posted just like a blue color like post to our account. Like we turned like all the stories, like everything blue. All our close friends and like people around the brand who were in the community, they all like participated, and we just, so many people like picked it up that we started like creating like these group chats like with all the people who were like participating in and who were like changing their avatars, like posting blue. Like we just turned like the whole Instagram like blue for like a week, and
this seemed huge.
Like we were like chatting with all of these people like day to day, like in all of these chats. We even like made some like special like discounts and giveaways for these people. And there's still people who have these like blue avatars like from like 2 years ago on Instagram, but we're gonna show these like clips. It's like crazy. Like we also like we started like following all the people who went blue, and it was pretty crazy. Like
it was huge.
People could like, even people who weren't participating, they would notice that like every other person like changed their avatar for that color. It was pretty crazy.
Thousands of people changed.
Then we like
came back to this
we even like did some like advertisements on the street that were just like completely blue, and that was the theme of we did some like cool pics and stuff like in these like masks that were like just pure blue, and then came the event. But that's like a super big story.
Event went bigger and better than we expected, for sure. Like when the line gathered outside with hundreds of kids, I was like, wow, this is getting out of control for real. But luckily we had like no big problems. Only a few pieces were stolen, and like
I mean, like we didn't have problems because we closed the pop-up like like maybe 3 hours before we planned, like in the evening, because basically there were like we have clips of this. There were like so many people gathering outside and inside that it was like a full capacity limit for the place, even though there was like 2 stories in this pop-up area. It was a pretty like big pop-up area compared to what brands usually do. And it had this like party area underneath with like DJs and like music and lights and everything, and there was some like live performance there. It was like
From
like
the locals.
from like the French local Parisian rappers. It was pretty crazy, and it became so packed inside that like all the windows got like
Foggy.
foggy because of like how many people were breathing in this room, and it became super warm inside because I think it was much over the capacity that the place could have, and there was so many people gathering outside
That they were like blocking the street.
Yeah.
Cars couldn't
that
pass
they were
by.
like blocking the street, and cars couldn't pass. Like the road was blocked, the police came, and our only option was to like
Shut it down.
let everyone out, and it was crazy. Even after shutting down the whole event, people were still like waiting for something.
Yeah.
Like there was still like 80 people outside just like waiting for something to happen. Like it was pretty crazy.
It went a bit out of control, but like we got lucky
Yeah.
because our bartender, the guy who was pouring drinks, suddenly became a security guard. You know.
Another one.
Everything changed rapidly. We couldn't follow what's going on. I was supposed to shoot an after movie, but I just passed camera to my friend and was like solving other problems, you know.
Yeah.
So it was so hectic, but amazing at the same time.
Like at the same time, there were like we had this corner where we were making people like racer tattoos.
Yeah.
Our friend Era was like making, and we got like maybe like 20 people to tattoo like racer graphics on them. Like it was pretty crazy, and also another corner with like a vending machine that had people could like win racer items in.
Yeah.
And also like a corner where when Anton Reva, like an artist that we did a collab with, was making like a live multimedia painting.
Yeah.
It was a lot of stuff there besides the pop-up and like exposition itself, and obviously the party
Yeah.
underneath.
When we talk about it right now, it seems pretty huge.
Yeah.
Back then it was like, it didn't feel that way, but now it's different.
It felt pretty huge. I think you can just, looking back at it, you see like the full scale.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a big moment for us for sure. I also remember like how after the pop-up, after like rapidly cleaning it up, we tried to sneak on different after parties of the fashion shows of the big brands such as Balenciaga, Givenchy and stuff. Misbehave after party, how Misha went there and gifted all the jewelry we had to owners of Misbehave brand.
Should we talk about
I don't
that?
know.
It was actually our jewelry.
Yeah,
Just like
we could. I remember like how Misha told me, I'm going to Misbehave after party, give me all the jewelry you have. And everyone was like, so Misha went there and like gave small presents to everyone. Also this big after party that I remember a lot. And the coolest party I've ever been to was this Givenchy after party, where we just sneaked in, which was a miracle. And we didn't talk, but at least we've been in the same room and partying with many different huge creators and artists. Half a year before that, we couldn't even imagine doing something big in Paris. Like 6 months later, just finished our successful pop-up and partying with Kid Cudi, Offset, Cardi B, like...
About these after parties, I kind of also realized that, we got to all of these like after parties and got to party with these famous people, but then I kind of understood that, okay, now we need to like go back and do better and like work and actually work on our brand and create something that could be, the best in the world, that we would be proud to show, to these people. I think that is very important, and that's what Racer was always about, It wasn't about like, the hype, or trying to like get the hypiest story. It was more about like the building a thing from the ground up, you know, because we always had a team like way bigger than the size of like actually our brand is, you know. We always had a bigger team. We always treated stuff more seriously than our peers and brands like ours would, you know. We were kids, but you know, we had the kids' passion, but we also like treated it very seriously as grown-ups, you know.
I remember how we got back after this, and we decided to take like a small break in terms of organization of things, and we just started brainstorming and discussing what else could we do. And then we came to realization that we should start the YouTube channel. So by the beginning of 2022, we made a decision to do these videos.
Yeah.
And when this channel started. Was there anything like important during the autumn 2021 besides pop-up and
I mean, yeah, like there was just so much stuff happening like every month that we can't really like, we had just so many like releases. Meanwhile, we dropped like the first camo puffers and thermochromic puffers, and this was like a huge step forward from what we have made before. That was another like wave of success, like that was another level for us, and that's also when we started really popping off in the US as well, you know, not just in like Europe. You know, I think after this, like, yeah, the YouTube was pretty big like thing for us, and like all the videos that we were making after, like YouTube overall is like, it's a kind of a project actually that is like, you know, I really believed in from day one. I was actually dreaming about it, you know, about making like some type of like YouTube channel or like media project like way before, but you know, that wasn't time yet for it. And after already like the brand blew up and we had this pop-up, we noticed that, you know, we have much to show and to tell about, you know, and to share with our audience. And I really feel like, to be honest, like YouTube, it's a kind of story that it's like, it's still in the making, you know. We put so much effort, but like the first time is really where you have to put the most effort, you know. You have to strive to be the best and, you know, eat last. Yeah. And obviously, like, these two guys are the ones who are like doing the YouTube, Jüri and Chris. And yeah.
Yeah, of course, it's still a start.
I think that's gonna be the next documentary where we're gonna tell like all like, you know, about
the build-up of the YouTube channel.
Yeah, the build-up of the YouTube channel. Actually, I was just thinking about one logical thing. That from that point, like Paris pop-up, and then we talked like abstractly about our YouTube channel, and basically I was just thinking, from now on
everything
you watch our YouTube channel. From now on the documentary is our YouTube channel, you know, like from now on we already showed pretty much everything interesting that was happening, like, you know, all the little things, all the trips, the Berlin pop-up, the trip to Otepää, the Racer Christmas, the giveaways, the collection drops, the crazy shoots. There is just so much stuff happening nowadays that you can't fit it in one video. It's like impossible, you know. We have like a whole channel about it now. It's like 16 people, 16 members in the team simultaneously working full time on all of these projects, you know, having all of these like fun little moments, having all of these evolution. Like, that's just so much valuable lessons and information that we want to share.
Yes, indeed. But since Misha did a conclusion of everything, I think we can finish this.
I want to play some Minecraft.
Yeah, sure. Hope you guys enjoyed this small documentary / podcast type video. We hope that you got to know us better. Now you know a bit more about history of Racer, about history of the creation of this brand, and hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. Hope Mihhail motivated and everyone motivated you to some degree, and yeah, bye.